Pastoralist in the Modern World, second lecture, second class, and the topic of the class, topic of the lecture is why do pastoralists move from one place to the other? I hope all of you are ready with your notebook and with your other materials. I mean, writing materials, I mean to say here. So, let's start. Note down the first factor responsible for the movement of what? Pastoralists. The first is rearing of cattle. If they were not having cattle, they were not required to move. They were required to stay at one place. Because they were rearing cattle, because they were rearing their pets for different reasons, they required to move from one place to the other. Why? They could have reared at one place also, by staying at one place also, but that was not possible. The reason was they required sufficient amount of pasture and they required good quality of pasture. That is why when they were not having sufficient pasture and good quality pasture, they were forced to leave the place and go to some other place. एक स्थान पर उनको अच्छी क्वालिटी का पास्चर और अच्छे मात्रा में पास्चर नहीं मिला, ग्रासलैंड नहीं मिला, इसलिए उनको एक जगह छोड़कर दूसरे जगह पर जाना पड़ा, क्योंकि उनको जरूरत पास्चर की है नहीं, उनको जरूरत है अपने कैटल को रियर करने की, अपने पशुओं को पालने की. पशुओं को पालने के लिए to rear cattle, pasture was required. And that is why they were moving from one place to the other place. I hope the first point is clear to all of you. The second factor was, or the second factor is, in search of pasture land. They reared cattle. They wanted pasture land. They wanted sufficient pasture land. They wanted good grassland, good quality pasture land. And that is why they were always on move for in search of new pasture lands. Because some pasture lands were aware, because some pasture lands were known to them. They wanted to look for some new pasture land, and that is why they moved from one place to the other place. So first point is rearing of cattle. Second point is in search of pasture land, search of new pasture lands, search of better pasture lands. That also we can say. The third factor for their movement was revival of the pasture land. Suppose the pastoralist stayed at one place for a very long time and they had a very good number of cattle. Then, as a result, when they are staying or they were staying at one place for a long time, the pasture land will become the victim of overgrazing. And when it will become the victim of overgrazing, then revival will be required. And when the revival is required, then they are required to move from one place to the other place. तब तो उनको एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पर जाना ही पड़ेगा. तो ये पॉइंट आप लोग नोट कर लीजिए. फर्स्ट पॉइंट हम लोगों ने क्या देखा था? फर्स्ट पॉइंट हम लोगों ने देखा था रियरिंग ऑफ कैटल. सेकंड पॉइंट हम लोगों ने क्या देखा था? सेकंड पॉइंट हम लोगों ने देखा था कि दे मूव फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू द अदर प्लेस in search of what? New pasture land. New pasture land, I repeat. And the third one is they move to another known pasture land or in search of a new pasture land because they want the existing pasture land where they are staying at present to get revived. एक जगह के पैस्चर लैंड को छोड़कर दूसरे जगह के पैस्चर लैंड पे वो जाना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि उनको एक नया पैस्चर लैंड की तलाश होगी और दूसरे इससे होगा ये कि वर्तमान में जिस पैस्चर लैंड पे वो रुके हुए हैं इसको समय मिल जाएगा फिर से रिवाइव होने का। तो फायदा किसको होगा? पैस्टोरलिस्ट को ही होगा। अब वो नए पैस्चर लैंड में जाएंगे, इस पैस्चर लैंड को रिवाइव होने का मौका मिलेगा। जब तक ये रिवाइव हो जाएगा तब तक अगला जिस पैस्चर लैंड में वो लोग हैं वहां पर ओवरग्रेजिंग की समस्या आ जाएगी एंड इन दैट वे दे विल बी कमिंग बैक। और इसलिए उनको वापस इस पैस्चर लैंड पे आना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि तब तक ये पैस्चर लैंड रिवाइव हो गया रहेगा। तो हाउ मेनी पॉइंट्स वी हैव गॉट? 3 points. First point is what? Rearing of cattle. Second point is what? In search of pasture land. And third, new pasture land. In search of new pasture land. And third point is what? Third point is revival of the existing pasture land. पशुओं को पालना, नए pasture land की तलाश, existing pasture land का revival. ये 3 पॉइंट हम लोग अभी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं। अब हम लोग आते हैं 4th पॉइंट पर, या 4th फैक्टर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर देयर मूवमेंट। मूवमेंट ऑफ हुम? मूवमेंट ऑफ पैस्टोरलिस्ट along with their cattle, of course. ये तो इतनी बात तो पक्की है। 4th फैक्टर रिस्पॉन्सिबल इज जल ही जीवन है, इन सर्च ऑफ वाटर। Pastoralists, they are very few in number. When a kabila is on move, it is kafila. And then what is kabila? It is a group of different, or it is a group of some pastoralists who are together, who move together in a group. And when they are moving together in a group, then that group is called kabila and their movement is called kafila. ये बात समझ में आ गई? Some pastoralists and many cattle. Do they need food only? They don't need water. Of course they need water. They need sufficient amount of water and good quality of water. Contaminated water is not required, and that is why they move from one place to the other place, not only in search of pasture, not only in search of new pasture land, not only for revival of pastures, but for new sources of water for themselves and for their cattle. अपने लिए भी पानी चाहिए और अपने कैटल के लिए भी पानी चाहिए, ये बात तो है। So let's come on to the next point now, next factor now. The next factor is changes in season. जब सीजन में बदलाव आता है तो एक जगह को छोड़कर दूसरे जगह पर जाना पड़ता है। We take the example of गुजर बकरवाल्स। गुजर बकरवाल एक समूह है, एक ग्रुप है, एक पैस्टोरलिस्ट ग्रुप है जो जम्मू कश्मीर रीजन में मिलता है। ये गुजर बकरवाल लोग शीप और गोट पालते हैं ज्यादातर, एंड जिस रीजन में ये लोग रह रहे हैं यानी जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, इधर स्नोफॉल भी होगा। विंटर सीजन जैसे शुरू होता है, स्नोफॉल जैसे स्टार्ट होता है, दे स्टार्ट coming down from the hills. It means for the whole summer season, these Gujar Bakarwals along with their cattle stay on the hills. And as the snowfall starts, as the winter starts, the snowfall starts. And as the snowfall starts, they start their downward journey. They come down the hills. When they come down the hills, they find their pasture land has got revived. They are very happy. They stay here for the whole cold season, foot of the hills. And when the winter is over, the snowfall has stopped, then the grassland on, the pasture land on the hills has got revived. So they start their onward journey, upward journey, after the what? After the snowfall stops, after the winter is over. So during winter, down the hills. During other season, up the hills. That is summer and winter. Okay. Summer up the hills, winter down the hills. Reason is what? Seasonal change. So the fifth factor responsible for the movement of the pastoralist is seasonal changes. सीजन में जो चेंजेस आते हैं वो समर up the hill, winter down the hill. Who? Guzar Bakarwals. What do they rear? Goat and sheep. I hope this point is also clear. This factor is also clear to all of you. Now factor number 6. The sixth factor responsible for the movement of pastoralists along with their cattle from one place to other place is selling of products. Pastoralists, they rear different cattle and they do sell the products while on move. While on move means what? When the kabila is on move, that is, we can say kafila, right? So that kafila sells the products they have prepared, the pastoralists have prepared. Milk products, woolen products, and some other craft pieces they have prepared, they used to sell when they are on the way. जब ये लोग रास्ते में होते हैं, एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जा रहे होते हैं, तब ये लोग क्या करते हैं? बेचते हैं. ठीक है. अब आते हैं हम लोग लास्ट पॉइंट पे. द लास्ट फैक्टर, द सिक्स्थ फैक्टर is protection of ecology and environment. When they move from one place to the other place, knowingly or unknowingly, they are allowing the pasture land to get revived. Knowingly or unknowingly, their cattle destroy some of the saplings. Knowingly or unknowingly, they disturb the ecology of that particular region where they are staying. ये अलग बात है कि उनके लिए मूवमेंट जरूरी है और उसी क्रम में ऐसा हो जाता है. लेकिन एक और बड़ी बात यह है कि they don't stay at one place. And when they move from one place to the other place, they allow the environment also of a place to get revived, to get enriched. The ecology of that place to get revived, to get enriched. When they stay at a place, that place becomes victim of overgrazing. And they leave the place, then that place gets, that pasture land, that area, that region, that environment, that ecology gets opportunity to get revived, get refreshed, get enriched. I hope this is clear to all. So my dear students, आप लोगों ने कौन कौन से पॉइंट्स लिखे? एक बार ध्यान से मैं फिर से पॉइंट्स को आपके सामने रख दे रहा हूं. हम लोगों ने पहला पॉइंट क्या देखा? फर्स्ट पॉइंट देखा रियरिंग ऑफ कैटल. सेकेंड पॉइंट क्या देखा? सेकेंड पॉइंट देखा सर्च फॉर न्यू पास्चर लैंड. और थर्ड पॉइंट क्या देखा? थर्ड पॉइंट देखा रिवाइवल ऑफ द पास्चर लैंड दे आर यूजिंग. फोर्थ पॉइंट क्या देखा? फोर्थ पॉइंट देखा सर्च ऑफ वाटर, because water is required for them and for their cattle also equally. Fifth point हम लोगों ने देखा changes in seasons. Due to seasonal changes, they move from one place to the other place. We have already discussed the example of Guzar Bakarwals ड्यूरिंग 2 सीजन्स विंटर एंड समर. ओके, फिफ्थ हम लोगों ने देख लिया तो चेंजेस इन सीजन. एंड सिक्स्थ हम लोगों ने क्या देखा? सिक्स्थ में हम लोगों ने देखा सेलिंग ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स, प्रोडक्ट्स को बेचना. जो भी वो बनाते हैं, आर्ट क्राफ्ट की चीजें बनाते हैं, मिल्क प्रोडक्ट्स बनाते हैं, वुलन आइटम्स बनाते हैं, कारपेट्स बनाते हैं, सब वो जब भी मूवमेंट में रहते हैं बेचते हैं. ठीक है. और सिक्स्थ पॉइंट हम लोगों ने देखा प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ एनवायरमेंट, प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ इकोलॉजी. सो माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आई होप आज की क्लास फ्रूटफुल रही होगी. ये क्वेश्चन बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है और बहुत पूछा जाता है. और बहुत पूछा क्या जाता है? क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा जाता है आप लोगों ने नोट कर लिया होगा. That's good. What is the question? The question is, why do pastoralists move from one place to the other place? The basic reason is, of course, they rear cattle and they have to move in search of food and fodder, water, this thing, that thing. तो मुझे लगता है कि this question is asked for 3 mark or 5 mark. All of you will be able to write the answer in correct manner and fetch full mark. लिख लेंगे? लिख करके रेडी रहिए. ठीक, that's nice. When this chapter gets over, then we are going to provide you a very important thing, and that thing is to be a Google quiz from this chapter, based on this chapter. It will help you in quick revision. Till then, have a good day. Please do take care of your health and studies, for yourself also, for your family also, and above all, for the whole nation.